Hello and welcome back. Last time we did a quest with Argenta. It didn't go super good, I don't think. She was rejected by the spaceship. You wanna talk about it? Your pilgrimage is complete. Do you still wish to follow me? Her face is as white as a sheet and her eyes are half closed. Her lips tremble slightly as she whispers a prayer. She seems oblivious to the world around her.
Following you into the flames of battle will grant me a chance of purification. And that is all I want. It is all I think about. A righteous death and peace thereafter, should he choose to grant it to his unworthy daughter.
I don't like that. Deposing servitor. Do you have anything to say about that? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, cool, I guess. Not really. But I'll have to do. You know what, before we journey the stars once again, let me trade some. Explorators. Oh. Skitari Ranger armor? I wonder if that's something that Pascal can use. Solar Staff. Pyromancy. I haven't really used that ability at all. Resonance grenades are good. Ancient Plasma Rifle. Possibly better than whatever Pascal is using right now. 650, is that enough? Not quite. Do we have anything we can trade to you? Some. 650. Yeah, look at that. That is an improvement. Great, because we're going to his quest next. I believe, at least. Let the cycle be discontinued. And the system speculo, which if I remember correctly, can I do something more with this now, actually? Apparently not. If I remember correctly, here. We got Falson here, where I need to do an event. Kiavagama is not in need right now. Dargonus is. And so is Viabos. So I'm thinking we go this way. Mysterious sickness struck the clan. Okay, this is something we've seen before. Oh, now Kiavagama needs my help as well. Let's start here. Give me a little quick save. Thank you. The flames of rebellion flare up across the colony. Sick of extortions and punishment, the subjects urge their pairs to abandon the rogue trader's patronage and employ diplomacy. Subjects manage to convince part of the rebels. The rest are disposed of in bloody combat. Is that it? That was kind of disappointing. Usually those things have some writing to them. That was like the most basic moral choice thing I've ever seen. Oh well. What else? World is preparing for a Groxback race across its central continent. This entertainment for the rabble will affect production on the planet. Gonna send personal representatives to the race. People are stunned by the rogue trader's attention and warmly welcome the Lord Captain's envoys. Again, very simple. I imagine the rest of the things going on right now will be simple. Is it some sort of like Radiant quest type interactions going on? Kind of wish there was an option to like chart the safest course. Like if I could. That's a long ass course. I suppose I could chart it, but I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe it would be worth it to have like a long ass path between all my my planets. Or maybe not, I don't know. Inconvenient witnesses. That doesn't sound... Your servants became witnesses to a secret inquisitorial operation. That is a problem. The Ordo can do what they want with that. Inquisition greatly appreciated your loyalty to the Golden Throne. Can I go down here? Do I wanna? Why would I? Abelard? I don't know why I'm going down, just because I can, I suppose. This is just in case I wanna like explore. It's probably... I'm probably being silly right now. Just got a little curious. It just looks like the same map I explored last time, yeah.
I always keep my options open.
Oh well. Off to the stars again. Foulstone. Foulstone is right next to System Speculo, which is perfect. Boom. Boom. What is this button again? Focus camera on the flagship, which is called Enterprise. Boom. Boom. That's a little dangerous, that path. First off, let's pay a visit to Foulstone. We haven't been here in a while. Definitely feeling a bit endgamey with the traveling a lot with nothing really new going on. But it might just be the end of the chapter that I'm feeling. First of all, slander. Rumors wriggle through the colony that the rogue trader has given in to the archenemy's depravity. I'll just hold mass prayer service and processions so they know that I ain't no heretic. The von Valancius dynasty was publicly insulted by the colony's governor. I'll challenge the governor to a duel. Not expecting such a development, the horrified governor prays for mercy. Your reputation is restored. Done with all the housekeeping. Went quick enough. Let's take a little roundabout way to get to Speculo. I just thought of something. Do we have anything here we want to do? Sure. We have enough. Sure. Adamantine for mechanisms, sure. Profit factor for Xenotech. Nah. Sure. Why not? Nah. Oh, look at that. Explorator flotilla. Lots of ships. Can I real quick just level up Pascal? Sure. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but why not, you know? I guess I can give you Medicaid because of that arm thing that I might get. Your Ladyship, according to the ship's registry, we're looking at the Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. We picked up a vox signal coming from her. Permission granted. May the Messiah of Discontinuing reveal the way to a safe docking gate. The raspy voice of the person who recorded the message is vaguely familiar to you, but you cannot put your finger on it. Requesting the right to participate in the first boarding party, evaluating shuttle docking options. Is there a safe docking spot? Not at the moment, Your Ladyship. The damage to the hull makes observations difficult, and the surviving vacuum locks are sealed shut. I hypothesized that the proper vacuum lock may be opened using my personal access code. Justification, a message from the Arc Mechanicus. What do we know about the ship? Each Arc is a sanctuary for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Every such ship is a relic. They are incredibly ancient, and they were made to search for the sacred standard template construct patterns. Legends tell of entire forge worlds that were literally disassembled for part to make such vessels. In any case, she is a ruin of her former glory. We observed numerous traces of internal decompression, but not a single sign of aggression carried out from the outside. For what it's worth, some of the decks look intact, at least from the outside. We are also picking up strange radiation emanating from the hull. We believe the ship has been in the processional of the damned for a long time. Assemble the boarding crew. It will be done, Your Ladyship. Should we give Argenta a moment's rest, perhaps? Hopefully we won't have to use too many... We won't have to do too many demolition checks. Now it's back to the void ship. Hello, Abel.
I always have a backup plan.
Also, this holy ship strangely familiar to me. Let me adjust the formation real quick. That's better. Maybe do a quick save. just in case. Cogitator screens glow faintly. Take a closer look and realize it has been gutted and is replaced with candles. Cascalent on the backplex. Okay, so it's not even active. Surrounded with extraordinarily ancient sacred mechanisms. Tech tribesmen. Some of these are in like combat positions, which make me a little bit nervous. Someone avoids your gaze as you approach. Place at the very heart of the ship. Barbaric inscriptions, blood. Ooh, flesh of the sacred machine echo the reverent shutdown. This marking does not follow fleet protocol. Constitutes, what did you say? Category 10 heresy. Only heard about them in legend.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
I can't read that. That is
Rise to the
one
top,
way.
or get left in the dust.
What are these boys doing? Recognize the pattern on the chant. They are imitating a reactor shutdown vigil. Something simply order the machine to die.
Let us not dawdle.
Bay was breached from the inside. Traces of scaling melted church. What is going on, boys? Barbarians are pillaging the ship's supplies. Category 9 heresy.
To be made.
Evidence of Volkite carbine. Oh, really? That text went away way too quick and I can't click on it again. A Volkite carbine? I haven't seen any Volkite weapons here. Those are not very common in the 41st millennium. They were a standard issue for Space Marines during the Crusade. But bolters turned out to be easier to produce. Huh. Immune to toxin, eh? Plus 30 strength. If the wearer has not moved in the previous turn, their ranged attack. Heavy weapons. Huh. Fortunately, Argenta, who isn't here, she's our heavy weapons person. And she likes to move, like a lot. This seems to be the way forward. The ancient servitor seems dead. The infrequent twitching of its head, his head even, is the only glimmer of life left in him. The numerous augmetic regalia embedded in the body of this servant of the Omnissiah speak to his high standing and devoutness. Can you activate him, Pascal? Tech Priest carefully touches the servitor's withered body with his mechadendrites. Data spikes slide out of them and sink into the servitor's augmetics. Pascal's voice sounds thoughtful and slightly puzzled. I identify this unit as Magos Logis Hectodon 11. The unit received 7 commendations for advances in astrography recorded in the Fleet Archive. The unit, he liked watching the stars. He called them beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. The servitor gives a jolt, raises his head and fixes his augmented eyes on you. The large black circles of his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. A pained moan comes from the speaker on the servant's throat. Unit status operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available. Error malfunction. The Omnissiah knows what? Pascal sighs heavily. He is suffering. This unit is long past its operational life expectancy, but the particularly ancient and sacred true flesh it was awarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is still prolonging its years. Do you know him? This statement is false. It wasn't a statement, it was a question. My archive has no record of any encounters with this unit or any archived requests concerning it. I just know. And I grieve. Pascal touches the servitor's pale skin, covered in inky cacography. The tribespeople inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis: ignorant as to the true purpose of this litany, they perceived it as health-replenishing magic spell. Tech Brother Hectodon 11, this unit identifies itself as Pascal and Newman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A jumble of sounds comes from the servitor's speaker, as if a very old man who has outlived his faculty of speech is trying to utter once familiar words now strange to him. Then suddenly a spark lights up his visors and he utters with great strain, "Executing function. All reserve capacities engage in executing primary function." He's gonna open the door. No. Apparently not. Oh shit. There is
Always keep your eye
something
on the
behind there.
prize.
Was he supposed to open the door?
Keep your wits about you.
I sense something nearby.
Plural. Yeah?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Is there anyone I can speak to? Oh, are they frozen? So-
Is there money to be made?
Can I do anything? I feel like the door was supposed to open when he said that. I'm gonna load the save. The last save I made. Let's try that again. Ah shit. Continue, continue. Do you know him? Continue, continue. Primary function. Leave. No, we have to go in there though. Give me a second. I'll see what's up. Yes, hello. There's a chief here I'm supposed to speak to that I didn't see. The lean, hunchback man studies you with his piercing gaze. One of his eyes look you up and down. The other has been replaced by a bulky ogmetic, ancient and adorned with gold, but it's deactivated for some reason. He states in a dry voice, "The ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of the Akin tribe." "I greet your tribe. We come in peace." The man shrugs indifferently. His voice is tinged with sympathy. "It does not matter. You are ghosts." I take a look at the man. The middle-aged man carries a potentia coil on his shoulders, after the manner of tech priests. It is held in place by straps and is not connected to anything. Its weight has given him a hunched back. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech scribe augmetic, but the quills and styli are incredibly dull, as though they have been scraped against bare rock, and the limb's servo motor is dormant. The sight of the mangled augmetic elicits a pained grimace from Pascal. I am registering evidence of precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate that this sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it to such crude and careless use is an insult to the Omnissiah. Who are you? The undertakers of the world that expired in the great discontinuing of the cycle. The mourners holding an eternal requiem for the universe. Fascinated by the answer, Pascal says quietly, "Let the cycle be discontinued." A condescending smile grazes the man's lips. A one? Hold up. One. Pale, weak. Pale and giving the impression of illness or exhaustion. Never heard it. It was discontinued a long time ago. Do you believe the world has perished? The statement is true. The world ceased to exist a very long time ago. Turned to nothingness, to ashes. All that's left are these runes, the last shard of the universe. Its cenotaph. What do you think destroyed the universe? The unthinkable was wrought, and the cycle was discontinued. This tribesman's mind is full of the most unenlightened superstition. Why does this unit seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Is that good or bad? Neither. It just happened. But it was a grievous event, and we grieve. Is that what you call us ghosts? Yes. There is only nothingness outside this ship. Sometimes it spits out ghosts born of the world's ashes, and they wander in. And the sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there is nothing we can do to help you, since you do not exist. I see. The man sighs and makes a sign with his hand that is vaguely reminiscent of a tech priest's gesture to ward off evil. Pascal, what do you make of these people? Hypothesis. This primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomats who once serviced this deck. The name Aken derives from category AC Gen. AC stood for the Acolyte category, which serviced the main decks. Gen referred to service staff who were assigned general as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. The man looks at you and Pascal with indifference. He does not seem to have understood a single word. How do you survive here, and what do you do? We hold a vigil for all of existence, and the spirits of the mechanisms give us water, food, and a nutrient mix. We thank them for that with rites of machine servicing and maintenance. So commands the great entity. I am registering multiple deviations from the catechism of maintenance and operation in the actions of these units. Hypothesis. The breaches of sacred instruction do not stem from a malicious lapse into heresy. They are consequence of the rite having been lost to memory. A grave heresy, but not as profane. The voice from the Vox is full of sorrow and reproach. Who or what is the great entity? The supreme deity, the spirit of wisdom and revelations. It bears the name Marnat. Amarnat? The name grabs Pascal's attention. He says sternly, I am registering a meaningful linguistic pattern, requesting all available information on Marnat. Marnat is a divine being of great wisdom. It was his great wisdom that discontinued the cycle, and all who had partaken of it lapsed into nothingness. We never partook of the wisdom, which is why we exist. And I have nothing to tell you about it, Ghost. You talk to us, your kinfolk do not. Why? I am the fabricated general, really. My shoulders bear the sacred burden of leadership. The man shifts his shoulders, bent under the potential coil resting upon them. The others fear you, as ghosts can carry the living away into nothingness, but I am protected by Marnat's grace. Pascal's roar is like the blaring alarm of an extractor. Fabricator General, I am registering heresy. The man listens to the tech priest's outburst without flinching. The universe must have a fabricated general, the supreme priest of the Omnissiah. There is none other to hold that title. Therefore, it is mine. Have you seen anything unusual lately? The echo of an old crime was heard beneath the arching vaults of our home. The tribesman nods at you gloomily. A ghost of nothingness walked among us, of like appearance to you, but without a face. He spoke words that must not be spoken, and then penetrated the chamber of observers. And our abode was shaken by the wrath of the gods for days, and we felt as though we were drifting through nothingness. Pascal lowers his head and says quietly, "That is him, my mentor, Amanat." What did he look like? His brow bore the mark of sorrow and past misdeeds, and his voice was like seeping sand. Was he alone? No, other ghosts walked with him, but he alone had a mind and a will. The others did his bidding. Servitors, perhaps, or even Skitari? What is the chamber of observers? An abode of deities and mighty spirits, secluded from mortals. The man points toward the entrance to the lift shaft. Down this great tube, they used to descend to the mortals. Now they have all retired to the house of observers, the calm and keen-sighted, there to remember and mourn the world that once was. The unit has given us a distorted description of the observatorium, the bay that housed the Hermeticos bridge. There, under the grand dome of Glass Crete, the wisest hierarchs of the Adeptus Mechanicus would spend time in reflection and strive to discern the Omnissiah's guiding signs in the glitter of the stars. Pascal hesitates, then adds worriedly, "Correction, this data is a hypothesis. An archive search yielded no confirmation of this data. My possession of it is an anomalous cognitive fluctuation." He knows more than he's supposed to, and that he himself wants to know, I guess, or thinks that he should know. Which is worrying, but I believe we'll get answers as to why pretty soon. I want to get in there. Abandon this thought. Your kind can't go in there. The great tube was made for the travels of gods, not mortals. Only one who has the blessing of Pref, the great spirit who rules this deck, may approach the great tube. But even such a one will have tried in vain, for the great tube spirits have sealed its gate and will only open it to those who know the divine word. And the rust wraiths ensure that humans don't steal the word. They'll make short work of any thief. Who is the spirit Pref? The master of this deck, the second most important god after Marnot. Mortals cruelly betrayed his trust once, and he hasn't talked to them or protected them since. Pref only ever answers the shaman's invocations, and only occasionally at that. The tribesman's profane speculations most likely describe an important machine spirit that remains awake, requesting a conversation with the unit identified as the shaman. Divine word? What divine word? Words command all of existence. The gods rule the universe using words of power. There was a time when mortals, too, were granted knowledge of them, but that time died long ago with the world. Hypothesis. The term divine word refers to a command litany. A thorough understanding of the situation aboard the Hermetico will allow me to select the correct litany and recite it to the mechanisms that are still operational. What are rust wraiths? The man points at one of... Yeah, I figured. The ancient ones, servants of the gods. They used to be the gods' great warriors. Now they guard the peace of this universal cemetery and see to it that mortals don't challenge the divine order. The Skitarii, deck guard. These immortal servants are an elite detachment of the crews blessed with the most ancient and wondrous augmetic enhancements. They could survive in a sleeping state for centuries even. After a brief pause, a whisper comes from his vox. Their presence here is unusual. Typically, the immortals only leave their storage chapel on special orders from the bridge. So how did the faceless ghost get in? He knew the secret. The spell was not of divine origin. Its power surpassed that of the gods. It was born in the mysterious depths of irregularity, and soon after a mortal first uttered it, the world was no more. Pascal waves a mechadendrite at him in annoyed dismissal and says impatiently, "The blessed Amonat can command any mechanism on this ship, his ship even. The indoctrinal heresy uttered by the unit is unworthy of attention." Your guesses are amazingly spot on, Pascal. The tech priest is taken back. Aback, even. He pauses to think and then says with no great confidence, "This statement is false. Each of the hypotheses was logically deduced from our present situation." I see. Good. Don't seek to enter the god's abode, ghost. It is no place for you. I must take my leave. Farewell, ghosts. I hope nothingness summons you back into its embrace soon.
Let us not dawdle.
So, see scratch marks servo claw on his venerable guitar's arm. Now everything is clear. A battle was fought here and during preparation for an amulet declared the opposite. Turned off. Some internal conflict. There's well tech converse between. Right in the heart of the sacred machine.
I always keep my options open.
Do I have to find this shaman person? Tech shaman.
Wits about you.
The elderly tech shaman looks up at you with dim eyes. He smells strongly of exhaust fumes. Have you come to speak to the great Prev, ghosts? Prev will not speak you all as a tongue, but I can help. I can interpret. When I look at the tech shaman, the aging barbarian's skin is covered in tattoos of mechanisms, as if the ink drawings of cogs could pass for actual augmetics. Wires and scraps of flex tubing are braided into his hair, as well as shards from a broken data slate screen. Cogitator circuit boards hang on threads from his large ceremonial drum. I'm registering a category 6, 7, and 8 heresies in this tribesman's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines. Painting the skin in crude imitation of true flesh is a profane mockery. It is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and pass into nothingness, ghost. I do this in the hope that I might gain some of their wisdom. This statement is false. I am not registering any veneration. Who is Prev? Our deck's great patron spirit, who protects it and watches over everything that happens on it. Prev used to be a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. He wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory and no longer recognized their faces. Since then, Prev has been harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Prev, hypothesis. The barbarian is using his debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator, an especially sacred cogitator served by all of the deck's junior machine spirits. I'm registering a category 6 heresy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Omnissiah are permitted to interact directly with a prefect enumerator. Hypothesis. The part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces describes the removal of access rights from authorized units. For reasons unknown, the prefect enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. How do you talk to Prev? The tech shaman raises the roaring mechanical sensor and inhales a lungful of his aromatic exhaust fumes. The tribesman's eyes grow dim and he puts his hand on his drum. His fingers strike the taut synthetic leather with remarkable deftness and rhythm. Like this? Pascal frowns and says darkly, I'm registering a cut. Blast it, layman. This blessed smoke is meant for the sacred machines, not your lungs. Then the tech priest falls silent and listens carefully before uttering in astonishment, this primitive melody is a language, our language, a variety of rhythm-based tech vernacular in which meaning is created by the lengths of pauses between the signals. Damn. That's cool. The iron priests of Fenris can speak by Narek using flutes, drums, and bone rattles. Some of the rituals they use to appease machine spirits loathe the sound of the vox. We have come to plead for Prev's benevolence. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick drum taps in a complex choppy rhythm. Crackling comes in response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. The tech shaman tilts his head and says, the great Prev would like to know who is speaking to him. The prefect enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given existing data on the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, I predict that standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. If the machine spirits speak a tech priest language, do we even need the old man? This statement is false. The idiom is a distinctive vernacular, most likely only used by the ship's crew. It is intuitively familiar to this unit, but not intelligible. Well, introduce yourself formally, Pascal. This unit is Magos explorator Pascal Hanuman, a member of the Cognizance fleet, presenting doctrinal compliance and algorithmic obedience certificates. The indicator on Pascal's neural cogitator glows, new data lights up Pascal's noospheric aura that no layperson can see. The tech shaman translates Pascal's words into quick taps on his drum, his dangling circuit boards jiggling dramatically, inhales the aromatic exhaust of his roaring sensor, listens carefully and says in a strained voice, Pref asks why you should treat your words with respect and not scorn them. Pascal's voice becomes dry and bristly. The machine spirit is requesting to know this unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without a compelling reason. Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally in cases like these, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric prod or a blow from a wrench, accompanied by the litany of uninterruptible obedience. Fucking sometimes the Adeptus Mechanicus is very funny. I think a show of force is in order to show this machine its place. This statement is true. Pascal extends a hand toward the machine, which is enveloped in showers of sparks. The crack in the tech priest's armored respirator shines a bright green. There is steel in his voice. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it or you will regret it, wayward spirit. Ulfar clutches his charm with one hand and his battle-ready weapon in the other. You hear him whisper tensely. Spirit wolf, shield my soul from the terrors of the warp and the ire of angered spirits. The tech shaman shouts in fear and shakes his drum frantically. Pref acknowledges your power, Ghost. He does. He asks why you seek his friendship. A pained rattle comes from Pascal's vox as he touches the crack in his armor, which is no longer glowing. He looks as though he has a sudden toothache, then says with effort, Hypothesis. The prefect enumerator's request is to be interpreted as, what is the purpose of your visit? Tell it you're on a mission from Amanot. Perhaps the spirit knows who he is. I am following the orders of my mentor, Archmagos Amanot, and correcting a mistake made decades ago. The tech shaman listens to the crackling coming from the hidden vox in response and shakes his head contritely. The great Pref does not recognize your name or your face. He will not grant you his friendship and bids you leave. Pascal's vox hisses angrily and he shakes his head. The prefect enumerator's reaction is anomalous. Such disregard for regalia can only be explained by a protocol signifying an extreme degree of danger to the vessel. Wait, fuck, did I mess up? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I didn't read all these options. I have come to discontinue the cycle. I see. The tech shaman listens to the crackling coming from the hidden vox in response to and shakes his head control. Fuck. I might be missing a piece of the puzzle. You know what? We'll come back next time and we'll figure out this pref computer. See you later. We'll figure this out. Don't you worry.